Hey everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Jasmine with Ethereal Pathways. I am going to do a channeled collective message today, and I just want to start with letting you know, if you're new with me, welcome. What I do is I channel words of confirmation for people. There may be messages in some of these words that come in through with it. So take what resonates for you and leave what does not for someone else, because I do channel for a large collective. And this is a timeless message. So whenever you're watching it, if you're drawn to it, to watch it, there's probably something in here for you, because I don't believe in coincidences. So I'm going to take a few moments to meditate quietly and tap into the messages to get them to start coming through. So feel free to fast forward if you're on YouTube through this part as I start tapping in. I've already cleared the energy with some Palo Santo and some prayers. Archangel Michael, what needs to come through for the collective at this time? Gabriel. I've been feeling very heavy this morning. Emotionally. I don't know. I don't know if someone's been going through it, contemplating ending a relationship, but that's kind of what I've been feeling this morning. Like you're questioning, should I let this person go? Should I distance myself? Should I remove them from my energy? Again, use your intuition. I always say that. And take it if it resonates. But I feel like somebody's going through that right now as you're watching this. Sometimes, and I'm feeling guided to say this, sometimes we need to get space from an intense relationship that may be triggering you in some way to look at yourself. So there's some shadow work I think that's coming up for somebody. I'm going to write that down. So you're feeling heavy emotionally about a relationship, and whether or not you want to take some space from it to gain clarity and, cleanse your energy and then get that clarity about whether you should stay or go or continue forward trying to move forward with the person. Man, it's really heavy too. I might pull some from the Lover Oracle here in a little bit just to see what comes out. But I feel like, this is going to probably have something to do with love. But, we'll see what else comes out here. It could be a combination of love reading and something else. What else, Spirit? What any other signs of confirmation for the collective watching this video that they need to hear today to know this is their message? I'm hearing clairaudient. Someone is working on their clairaudient skills. That's your psychic hearing in your head. You're hearing messages in your head from spirit, from your higher self, your guides. So I feel like somebody's working on improving those skills, or you're being guided to do that at this time. Again, take it if it resonates. You may be guided to work with some stones and colors. And there's archangels that will assist with this, I'm hearing. So maybe, look into that, to Google that if you're feeling guided to. If you feel like this is your message. I'm going to write this down. Improving the psychic skill. Work with crystals. And you can actually Google, if you're new to like spirituality and metaphysics and things, you can actually Google which stones are best to work with to build your clairaudient skills and archangels and things like that, to build that. It should tell you. I'm seeing a Native American medicine man holding, I forget what they call this. I don't know what they call this. It's like a piece of a wing of like a hawk or something. And, it's got like the first, like some of the primary feathers on it, and it's tied to like some kind of rope or string. And they use it when they do their ceremonies, I think with the smoke and things. So I don't really know what they call that, but I'm just seeing a medicine man in a Native American tribe doing that. And I feel like some of these ancestors are working with them to assist them on this healing and ascension journey. Oh, I just got goosebumps. I feel like that's a sign of confirmation for somebody. You've got some, like either a guide or a Native American ancestor or both, combined. I'll write that down. Okay. What else, Spirit? And now I'm seeing a hawk again. See if I can get something specific about what type of hawk. I said a Cooper hawk. I don't know if that will resonate for somebody. Cooper hawk. It could be a spirit guide totem. That came up in a recent reading too, hawk. Like an animal totem. Maybe look that up, the spiritual meaning of a Cooper hawk. Animal. I don't know why I have such a hard time spelling when I'm on camera, when I usually don't. That's funny. Look up. Spiritual meaning. Sorry, my handwriting's a little bit messy there. I'm trying to write a little faster. What else, Spirit? What other messages do you have for this collective? Any other signs, confirmations? I just heard clairsentient too, so maybe that's another ability that you're trying to improve. Some of you don't know that you are these. You don't know. And here, I'm going to tell people this. Everybody has these abilities. They're innate abilities that are built into our DNA. We can activate them. And a lot of times we don't know that we have had them our entire lives, and it's come out here and there. But we didn't know it, so we didn't develop it. We didn't trust it more. We didn't, exercise that muscle, so to speak. And it's just kind of popped out here and there sporadically, and you didn't know anything about it. It didn't phase you. But I think a lot of you are being woke up to these abilities right now, and you're looking into, what these things are, why this is happening to you, and you're being guided to maybe look into that and improve those skills. It has something to do with your life purpose, I'm hearing. So write that down, psychic. abilities, and how to develop them. And there's actually some easy ways. It's not like you have to meditate for hours and hours and stuff like that. I've actually worked on mine and didn't even realize I was doing that the last couple of years. And then when the light bulb went off, the moment of enlightenment went off, I was like, oh my goodness, I have been doing this for like 2 or 3 years, especially like a lot more, and I didn't even realize it, that was being developed. And then it went to a whole new level with this most recent death and rebirth I went through about a month and a half ago. So I feel like, there's a group of us going through this together in different levels, looking into this stuff. Like, I want to see what this stuff is. And don't look at it from fear. Like, oh my God, I'm going to see ghosts and stuff like that. You don't know, but you can ask the divine, for not to, see ghosts and things like that. And, you can see things in your mind's eye. And, again, you could ask, and you can ask for certain things to be revealed, or, you don't want certain things. So, you can ask. So I don't know. I feel like somebody needed to hear that. Because that was a fear of mine. I've been pulled all my life to look into my psychic, and look into psychic abilities. I was drawn to it. I didn't know why. Now I know, because it's part of my life purpose, is to develop them, and then show people how I did it, and then help them wake up and develop theirs. So that's part of what I'm doing right here. Oh, yeah. I just heard teaching, guiding. This came up in a recent reading, too. Some of you are teachers and guides for the collective. And I think it's a combination. What I'm getting is, I just got goosebumps on my right side. So this sign of confirmation is I was getting this. So some of you are teachers, guides of protecting the environment. You're earth protectors and like grid workers. You're tied to Mother Earth, Gaia. And you're here as like, I had just heard environmentalist, but I feel like it's more than that. It's like, okay, so what I'm getting is your earth, like animal and just protectors. And I'm trying to find the best words to describe what I'm thinking, because that's not the words I was going to use. But anyway, I'm going to move forward. You're coming into your abilities. You're connecting with nature, spirits, animal totems, ancestors, guides that have been in one with nature in the past, and they're guiding you and bringing you back to the old ways of this old sacred knowledge of living in unison and unity and in harmony with nature, and not taking more than, you know what I mean? Like, you're in balance with nature. And so you're here to, I just got goosebumps all over my body. So yeah, somebody needed to hear this. You're being guided to develop this and work to bring awareness to humanity of the need to come into oneness with nature and in balance, and cleanse the earth, clean up the environment, protect the animals, and not just protect them, like live in balance and harmony with them. And I feel like this is somebody's really tied to this. This is really a strong message coming through for somebody, or a group of people here. And then I feel like some others are being activated to be teachers and guides of spiritual awakening in general, and how to detach from what no longer serves you, how to gain the courage to do that, and how you did it. Show people how you did it and guide them through their, fears, and overcoming their fears and getting them on their spiritual ascension journey. And inspiration, like being an inspiration to them, but also guiding them and teaching them. And then there's others that are like, I feel like more advanced energy healers. I'm seeing, and this came up in a recent reading too, they're Reiki healers, there's energy healers, there's sound healers. So some of you are musicians and you're working on whatever an instrument or singing, you're working with the collective, or you're going to be guided to work with the collective to heal through sound frequencies, because that is a thing. If you're new to that, you could look it up. That's something I was intuitively guided to before I even knew it was a thing. And I was drawn to singing sound bowls. I don't know why, because it bothers a lot of people, I've heard, but it was, I mean, it pulled me in. Like, I was being guided to Google it and look up for some reason. This was like 2-3 years ago when I had that most recent spiritual awakening from, meeting my twin flame. And I didn't even know why. Now I know why, because it is a thing. It does work. It does help. And it's always helped cleanse my energy, my chakras, clear my aura, and recenter me and ground me. So I feel like there's different collectives of people here that are being guided as teachers, and I feel like I'm helping you by confirming things for you, maybe helping you on your journey to help and guide people. That just to know, give you signs of confirmation and words of wisdom, whatever you need to help guide you. And I'm not saying that I'm any better than anybody else, but I feel like that's part of what I'm doing here. It's not just teaching and guiding people new on a spiritual awakening journey. It's helping teachers. And okay, I get it. Thank you, Spirit. It is a daunting task for me. That's not something that I was, I was, again, scared to put myself out in the public. But here I am, and I'm just a willing servant. I'm just trying to be humble and trying to help people. And I don't know why I'm getting emotional when I'm doing this, but I feel like this is hitting home for me too, this message that I'm channeling through. I don't think I'm the only one that needs to hear this. Just know that you're needed at this time. Like, again, use your divine, timing. It will happen. Divine timing will happen, but use your intuition. Don't force or push it. You just go when you're guided to go look at it, when you're guided to work on it, because you have to go with the flow of your life. There's going to be days where you just don't feel it. There's going to be days where you just don't, and you need to work through some emotional stuff or whatever is going on in your life, and you need to focus on that. And other days that, you'll clear that and you'll recalibrate, and then you are inspired to move forward. So go with the flow. I feel like I struggle with this too, having the rigidity, of having to do something every day. And that's not something that I'm breaking away from that. And that's part of what I dealt with my podcast, that I had to learn, was to let go of the need to control and let it flow naturally. If you don't feel guided and inspired, or if you're going through something heavy emotionally in your life, or something traumatic happened in your life with your family or whatever, you may not need to channel when you're going through something like that, because you don't want to infuse that energy into whatever you're creating. You don't want to infuse that. You want to cleanse that, work through it, recalibrate your energy and your auric field and your chakras. And then when you feel ready and clear, then you will be inspired to naturally move forward on it. I feel like we pressure ourselves and we put ourselves under, this rigid control structure of needing to do something every day and, no matter what. And I get that, especially for success. But when we are moving into a different energetic wave of ascension, and I feel like that's maybe not the term I'm looking for. I feel like it's a new way of creating and doing, where it's not like the old 3D way where we had to work a 9 to 5 and had to show up 5 days a week. And, some of you, I guess, are needing to hear this. You need to learn how to go with how you're feeling and go with the flow and stay in flow state. And there's going to be days where you're not going to feel that. And you need to let go of the need to control and have to do something. Because if you infuse whatever negative energy you're feeling, and I don't want to say negative energy, that's not the word I'm looking for. I feel like it's going to be emotional baggage or emotional turmoil, something's coming up for you to clear. There's triggers coming up. There's emotional, I just feel like it's something heavy emotional. And I feel like this is something I might be going through too. But I feel like somebody needs to hear this. There may be days that you're going through something very emotional and you still are like, I got to create something. I got to post a video. I got to whatever, I got to do something on it. And you know what? You may not feel like it. And yes, there's days that you're going to feel that way. There's things, because life happens, right? And as you're on your ascension journey, your working spirit's going to bring this stuff up to you to be triggered. And it's going to bring it up in your face to deal with certain, things from your past, triggers, another layer of emotional wounds being triggered that you need to clear. And what you don't want to do, like I said, is infuse that into whatever you're creating for the collective. You want to work through that, reintegrate, recalibrate when you feel inspired and ready. Again, this is like going in the hermit mode. You're going in a hermit mode to clear things, to work through the depths, to do the shadow work. And then you come out and you're inspired and you have new abilities sometimes to move forward on things, and you're infusing a new energy into things. So I feel like somebody need to hear this, that don't be so rigid with your need to control your schedule, when you're creating things for the collective. You need to go with the flow and learn that that's okay, number one. And because I had to learn that. That's what I went through with this whole podcast thing. And I had to just take a break and let it go. And I was feeling guilty and feeling bad about, I was like, I need to do this. If I'm ever going to make anything of myself, I need to be consistent. Well, yeah, you do need to be consistent. That's true. But you don't need to control it to the nth degree where you have to post every day and 7 days a week and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Go with how you're inspired, when you're dealing with something emotional or whatever. Don't try to do anything maybe at that time. Again, use your intuition. But I feel like somebody need to hear this. Any other any other signs of confirmation for people for this message? I think this is going to be a little bit of a shorter message. I'm going to pull oracle cards once I feel the words confirmation are being done. Any other signs of confirmation for somebody's spirit? I'm going to open it up just for a moment. Jade, that may be a stone that you may be guided to work with. So maybe look into that. I'm hearing energy healers. Yeah. Some of you are energy healers. You're walking, talking energy healers. Your aura cleanses entire spaces. You will walk into a mall, or you walk into a store, or you walk into a town, and your aura is cleansing areas and activating people on a level that you're not even aware of, and they're not aware of. So yeah, some of you have to work on keeping your energy clear as possible, when you're guided to do inner work and sit and introspect. If you have something coming up, I feel like somebody need to hear this. It's okay to do that, because I feel like that's somebody's being guided to do that. Like, let go of the rigidity. And I'm going to write that down, of the rigidity. Creating for the collective. Like on a schedule. Go with the flow. Cleanse and clear. Emotions when they come up. Cleanse and clear emotions when they come up for you to work through and clear. Then when you feel inspired, create. Sorry, it's so messy. I'm trying to write fast. So, any other signs? Sorry, my nose started itching. I feel like, I don't know. I get itchy noses some like random times. Like nose just randomly itches, and I don't know if that's a sign. I'm gonna have to look into that. I feel like I'm gonna write that. I don't know why. Itchy nose. That may be a sign of somebody's picking up on something. I'm gonna look that up myself. So I'm gonna go ahead. Any other signs, Spirit? Any other numbers, names, synchronicities that you want to come through before I close and pull oracle cards, Spirit? A light language came up, so somebody may be speaking light language, or you're finding yourself speaking light language. That's actually happened to me as I was waking up from a dream. I was dreaming I was speaking a light language I didn't know, and I woke myself up speaking it. I had no idea what I was saying, but that's happened to me a couple times over the last couple months. So maybe you're looking into that. Any other signs, Spirit, before I close this? Sorry, guys. 22, 44, and 333. 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I saw 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3. The threes are coming out really heavy in this reading. Sacred text, I just heard. So I'm going to go ahead and close this reading. You might be guided to look into sacred text. Spirit, what messages do you want to come through for this collective watching this video at this time to close out? Thank you so much, by the way, for, liking, commenting, subscribing. Please like, comment, subscribe if you feel guided to help the channel grow and show it in front of more people so they can get these messages. I really appreciate all of your support, everybody. I really do. So blessings to you, and however you're guided, even if you don't, blessings to you as well. So I said, love and blessings. So don't freak out. Pay close attention to the people in your life, your surroundings, and your physical health. Don't freak out. It's just a warning to be careful and awake to avoid any further issues. Communicate clearly and keep healthy boundaries. I feel like that's something somebody was going through right here as a sign of confirmation. Look at that. I'm trying to move this to the side here. So, sorry, that's my timer keep going off over there. I'm going to pull one here and then one over at the spirit messages. Peace. Peace is inner tranquility. Don't sweat the small stuff and look at everything with a calm mind. Life won't always be smooth sailing, and peace will keep you calm through the ups and downs. And I feel like that's what somebody's wanting, is they're feeling maybe they should get some space from somebody because they're not in peace. And you're being guided to get back to your inner peace. Get that back in your life. And look at these orange flowers. That's sacral energy for creation right there. And there's a wolf. You may be seeing wolves, or wolves may be a spirit. I just got goosebumps, so that's for somebody. Wolves may be a spirit guide or animal totem working with you. Okay, I'm going to pull the spirit oracle messages. What messages do you have for this collective at this time, Spirit? Those difficult times will pass. Nothing bad lasts forever. The sun will shine again. The birds will sing and the clouds will clear. And you will be glad you kept moving forward. You will soon be rewarded for your patience. Hold on. You are far stronger than you think. I feel like somebody needed to hear this. You'll be glad you kept moving forward. the sun will shine again. Nothing bad lasts forever. Yeah, because you're going, I just got goosebumps all down my body again. That somebody need to hear that. I'm going to pull from the Lover Oracle just to see what comes out. Why do I feel this way? I feel like that's what I was feeling in the beginning. Like, because somebody was feeling like, why am I feeling so heavy emotionally about this person in my life? Like, why am I feeling this way? It's because you're being guided to probably distance yourself from that person to gain clarity and cleanse your energy. Will this pain ever stop? See? And that's something, somebody's going through that right there. This pain. So, yeah, I feel like somebody needed to hear this today. So I hope this helps you. Please let me know if anything resonated. I love hearing that from you guys. It makes me feel more inspired, you know, to continue doing this, but I'm going to try to do it anyway because I'm being guided to do it. So thank you so much for your love and support, and I hope you join me for a future message. Take care.